Right now I got Seahawks. Yep. Yep. That's partially the reason. I'm still not locked into them. But I'm leaning toward them definitely. No Fabian. Whoa. Uh, that is De Leon. Jorge De Leon. Jorge De Leon. Yeah, I can hear you. I don't think Corey can hear you when you're talking to us. As you see the video flyover by the Blue Angels here in Milwaukee, the UWM Panther Arena, home of the Milwaukee Wave, and today they will be hosting their MASL rivals from Ontario, California, the Empire Strykers. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Tom Wynn along with Wave legend and Hall of Famer Art Kramer as we greet you from downtown Milwaukee. And beautiful day for indoor soccer, about 30 degrees outside with a little bit of snow. Nothing like welcoming the team from California with a little bit of snow here, AK. Milwaukee coming in to today's game with a record of 3-1-2 for 10 points, second place in the standings of the MASL. Strykers at 1-3-0 for 2 points this year. They are eighth and dead last right now. So, Art, coming into this one, anything in particular we should be looking for?
Well, yeah, this is the Strykers' first time ever here in Milwaukee, so It's great to see a new opponent. You know, you see St. Louis and Kansas City over and over and over, so it's great to see the boys from the West Coast coming in here to the Key.
And this is the 4th time overall that the Wave has played the Strykers / Ontario Fury, but all 3 previous games took place in Ontario, California. The Wave winning 1 and the Fury / Strykers winning 2. They were called the Fury, the Ontario Fury, until the 22-23 season. Led by second-year coach Onoa Ambasi, and he has certainly put his mark on this team, Art. Guided them into the playoffs last year. First time Ontario had been in the postseason, I believe, since they had actually played in the championship of the 2021 campaign. And he's also brought a new style of play to the Ontario Fury.
Yeah, they go 6 attacker with their goalkeeper. Orozco, you'll see him come up that right side, and it'll be early and often, I would assume, if he continued to play the way he likes to play. But Obasi, the skipper for Empire, was the MASL Coach of the Year last year.
So he did indeed do a nice job in helping turn around that Ontario program. Milwaukee coming off one of its toughest regular season losses, boy, maybe of all time, Art. They had a 6-1 lead this past Sunday in the third quarter, actually, in Utica, the second game of a back-to-back road trip, which started in Baltimore, a 10-7 loss, and then a 6-1 lead over Utica FC in the third period. And before you knew it, the Utica FC had tied it up with a 6th attacker goal in the last couple minutes of play. And then Milwaukee starting the overtime on a power play, a full power play, couldn't convert, and Utica FC scores on a shorthand goal to win the contest. That's one of the more frustrating, heartbreaking, disappointing losses that we've ever seen in regular season history for the Milwaukee Wave.
Yeah, well, the good news is you got today, New Year's Eve day game, and an opportunity for the Wave to bounce back here at home.
Coach Marcio Leite in his first season with the Wave, and they'll try to get the fellas back on beam here. Again, the Wave has been battling some early season injuries here, so we'll see who exactly is going to be available tonight. I do see Max Ferdinand dressed downstairs. I see Ian Bennett right next to him. So the IMAX tandem, which missed the last game in Utica, and actually Max only played about half the game in Baltimore the previous day due to illness. So hopefully they're back and raring to go, and that'll be a good re-addition for Milwaukee.
Well, both Max and Ian were game time decisions today, and thankfully for the Wave, they're both in the lineup.
On the attack to the right are the Strykers. Number 5 is Mo Alami.
And there you see the goalkeeper, Brian Orozco, all the way above midfield, just in the right portion of your screen there. Number 1, the goalkeeper, Brian Orozco.
Orozco getting the start today. And typically, the other goalkeeper, Brandon Gomez, will also see a lot of action again in the permanent 6th attacking mode of the Strykers. Kind of hard for just one goalkeeper to do it the whole game, so they are not afraid to trade out if need be.
Well, both Orozco and Gomez are very good with their feet. That's why Coach Obasi implements the strategy he does.
Wave going right to left in the black uniforms, playing their 31st New Year's Eve day game here in Milwaukee, a record of 21-9. Did not play last season. That was one of the rare times that the MASL schedule did not have the Wave hosting a New Year's Eve day game. Their previous season was a resounding victory over the Dallas Sidekicks, a 9-2 victory here at Panther Arena. Willie B will pick that one up. Willie B in his 7th season in the MASL, his 4th with Milwaukee, the veteran out of Buffalo State University. He's a Rochester, New York native out of Brighton High School. Here's a steal by Javi Steinwasser, but a nice reaction there.
A rare giveaway that time by the goalkeeper, Orozco.
So the Strykers able to avoid the disaster right there. Andre Hain able to step in and break that one up as Ant Powell was coming upfield. We got a whistle, and sounds like we're going to have too many men on the field for the Strykers, as I can see 6 field players right down in front of us. So Milwaukee will go on the power play on tonight's first penalty.
2-minute power play.
Time of the penalty at 2:09 for the umpire Strykers.
Not a good start for Coach Obasi and his Empire Strykers. Just 2 minutes into this first quarter.
So it looks like Mo Alami is going to go serve the penalty. And the Wave will go on the power play for the first time today on the season. They are 3 for 10. So only converting at 30%, and they've also allowed 2 shorthand goals, including the overtime game winner at Utica, their last time out on Sunday. Max Ludwig to Mario Alvarez. Now they work it to the board to Ian Bennett. Ian Bennett, the all-time power play leading goal scorer in MASL history.
Well, even though Max Ferdinand's in the lineup, he's not on this power play, which is unusual.
Sent in off the end board by Hain and covered up by Orozco. Brian Orozco, the third-year player out of Colton, California. Firing out to midfield, Ludwig knocks it down. Ian Bennett comes up with it. Ian, the second all-time leading scorer in this league, drives a shot in block shot. Berto Palmer. Palmer, one of the all-time great defenders in this league. And I believe the all-time leading shot blocker. And he had a nice block there to stop Ian Bennett. Alvarez coming downfield, being chased by Abdul Mansoure. And the foul going to be called on Mansoure, the fifth-year forward, originally from London, England. So back comes the Wave. Alex Sanchez, the Wave's leading scorer, playing out the far point as he takes the pass from Ludwig. I'm sure the Strykers will take note to make sure Sanchez is marked on a consistent basis as shot in is blocked out of bounds.
Well, not having Max Ferdinand on the power play, the Wave moves Sanchez over to the right side, and he's much better, much more effective attacking from this left side board.
Good pressure by the Strykers. Empire this year has stopped 3 of their 4 power plays against. No shorthand goals for the Strykers yet this season. Wave still with 10 seconds left on the man advantage. Hain stepped over it, but nobody other. Now Ludwig takes away. Ludwig lays it off to Bennett, and Palmer breaks it up. Max looked like he had a better chance to shoot. And now out of the box, Alami able to intervene for a moment, but the Wave gets it back. Quickly up to Sanchez. Alex coming in. He will fire a shot high. And so Milwaukee unsuccessful on their first power play today, now just 3 for 11 on the season. And I think one thing that Coach Marcio Leite is finding out, he was such a long time quarterback director of the Wave power play. And of course, when he retired a couple years ago, there really hasn't been anybody to effectively replace him. Alvarez has done a very good job as the quarterback of the power play, but still, Marcio Leite, one of the best ever. Steele, Alvarez. Mario will drive one in just wide. Rebound follow, Javi Steinwasser, and he just missed.
Good attack that time by Alvarez with the left foot, and then Steinwasser unable to hit the target.
Cesar Correa gets past the defender, trying to push up for a 3-2. Cesar still coming, fires in, just putting it off the post. Well, the Wave getting some good chances here early, but still unable to turn on the light at this stage. Just underway from Milwaukee. Welcome everybody watching today's broadcast, and shout out to the Strykers viewing party at the Ontario Airport Hotel today. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Tuning in out there. And we should have a good one for you here today.
Send us some warm weather.
Well, we could sure use some. No doubt about that. Well, a great move there by De Leon as he comes forward. And a solid tackle by Correa to knock it away.
We talked about the Wave injuries and inactives. The one big inactive for the Empire today is Marco Fabian, their international superstar.
Yeah, too bad. I'm sure some of the fans here today had come out specifically to see Marco, as this would have been his first visit to Milwaukee, but unfortunately not available for today's game. But he has been an outstanding player for the Strykers since coming over a couple of seasons ago, now in his third season. And Fabian, the Guadalajara Mexican native, former Mexican national team player, 62 goals, 28 assists in just 45 games, averaging 2 points per game. So that is a big loss for the Strykers. Almost midway through the first period, still no score. Wave has had just about all the effective opportunities here.
Yeah, we have a big Mexican community here in Milwaukee, and most of those people have ties to the Guadalajara area.
Strykers being patient with this possession. There's Isaac Somo, the former member of Utica FC, drives one in off the end board, swept away by Escueta for Milwaukee. And now at midfield, I believe they're going to get Correa for a foul. That's his first. Remember, in the MASL, you get 3 personals in a half on your fourth. That equals a blue card, and you're only allowed 6 personal fouls for the entire game, just like the NBA. Bertil Palmer, now in his 5th season with the Ontario organization. Here's a shot up into the netting by Brian Orozco. And before we get the goalkeeper distribution, we will take a timeout. 7:02 left to go in the first quarter, no score. The MAS no score with 7:02 left to go in the first quarter here from Milwaukee. The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on MASL TV. Also, Mitre is the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, Mitre is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com and shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. And think you can predict the MASL? Head over to nxtbets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season. Tom Wynn and Art Kramer with you here from Panther Arena in Milwaukee. This is one of 3 games going on in the MASL today on this New Year's Eve day. In Utica, they're already in the 3rd period. The Baltimore Blast leading the home-standing Utica FC 2-1. And also just underway in St. Louis. Kansas City Comets and the St. Louis Ambush. No score first period there.
That's going to be a top-of-the-arc restart for the Empire as the Wave, trying to get out of their own zone, knock the ball out of bounds.
So a good chance here for the Strykers, as it looks like the green-haired Justin Stinson, St. Charles, Missouri native, not too far from your old stomping grounds there at Kramer. Circling around and taking the shot that time is Ali Somo, the younger brother of Isaac. Isaac is 24, Ali 99. The brothers from Utica, New York. Shot blocked by Tony Walls, and Tony felt that one. Hopefully able to shake it off, the veteran out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
We mentioned Marco Fabian not being available today. He would normally be the guy that triggers those restarts. So you saw Somo, the lefty, come around and hit first time.
Yeah, no doubt. That is a key loss for the Strykers. Max Ferdinand trying to play it back, and it's deflected out of bounds.
And Max out there for his first shift today.
As I mentioned, the Strykers 1-3-0 coming in today's game for 2 points. Last year, 12-10-2 for 37 points. They finished 7th in the 12-team MASL, and they were knocked out of the playoffs in the first round by the San Diego Sockers down in San Diego. Speaking of the Sockers, the Strykers will take on the Sockers in their next outing. That's coming up Saturday night at the Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, California, right near San Diego, north side of town. And we're going to have a foul call as I think Stinson got checked into the board's far side. Correa goes over and tells him no malicious intent there. Quick restart. Here comes Andy Reyes trying to get top of the area. Nice check back by Correa to poke it away from him. Bunaheni thrown out to midfield for Javi Steinwasser, but that one rolls up and out. And the Strykers will take it. Strykers have not exactly been an offensive juggernaut this year. In their 4 previous games, just 14 goals scored, although they have been very solid defensively, only yielding 18. The Wave in their 6 previous contests, scoring 43, but giving up 40. Only the Kansas City Comets, who have played 8 games, have given up more goals, a total of 46, and the Comets have scored 55.
3 of the 4 Striker games have been a 1-goal game.
They beat the Sockers opening night in San Diego. That was the first time the Sockers had ever lost at Front Wave with that 5-4 win. But then Empire losing the next 3, as Art mentioned, they were all pretty close contests. A 6-3 loss in the rematch with the Sockers at Front Wave Arena, but 1-goal loss to St. Louis in Ontario, and then a 1-goal loss up in Tacoma. Speaking of Tacoma, as Sanchez will fire a shot just wide, they took a tough one on the chin last night, losing 8-0 in San Diego. Boris Pardo with the shutout, first of his illustrious career. Alex Steinwasser got checked in the board's far side and looks up the official and says, hey, by the way, that was a little excessive contact. Palmer for Isaac Somo. Sanchez gets it back for Milwaukee as he and Tony Walls still trying to control, and now they get it back to Alex Steinwasser. Alex, the younger of the Steinwasser brothers, having a tremendous start to this, his 3rd season with the Wave. 4 goals, 5 assists in 6 games. Drives one in, and the save made by Orozco. So again, the Wave has had the bulk of the quality scoring chances here so far, but Orozco and the Empire defense have been able to keep them off the board. Orozco will look long to the far corner as Ali Somo couldn't control. Turning shot there after the Wave lost possession is just high. Nice crowd here today on New Year's Eve day. As I mentioned, this is the 31st all-time New Year's Eve day game for Milwaukee at home. trying to extend their current New Year's Eve day winning streak to 3 straight and 7 of the last 8. So they've done well playing here on New Year's Day. There's a shot and a nice save there by Willie B. Probably his best save of the night. There's a look at Willie. Shot taken that time by Jorge De Leon, the 7th-year pro out of Waco, Texas. He'll get another crack at it on the restart. Off the mark, sent back in. Now Stinson with it. Stinson's been one of the most dynamic performers in this league ever since he came in the league with the St. Louis Ambush back in 2018-19. And he's basically been with the Strykers ever since.
You know, Stinson's hair was kind of a darker blue just about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Is it kind of fading as to a green? You said it was green, Tom.
Yeah, kind of aqua green maybe, or aqua blue perhaps.
Yeah, that blue is fading out, turning green here.
You know, those St. Louis guys, you never know what kind of hair they're going to put on display.
Hey, I never had any colors to my hair. when I had hair.
You still got a pretty decent amount. Strykers still controlling as Stinson working against Correa. Reloads after the block shot. Sent across near side. Now Gratterall trying to keep the zone, and he's able to cycle it back out. So the Strykers with some extended possession here as we come down the stretch in this scoreless first quarter. Now Escueta steps in. An empty net shot is going to go wide. The goalkeeper, Orozco, was all the way up at midfield, and the Squid had a great chance to put one in the empty net, but unfortunately was off the mark. Believe me, fans, it's a lot tougher than it looks from up here.
How so?
Well,
that was a simple side foot pass into an empty net, Tom.
I mean, for an ex-professional player, yes, it probably doesn't look as difficult as
okay, all right, so
as it would for me. That was a great chance, though. Our producer, Ian Thompson, said, maybe we'll go on the field after the game and take a few. And the foul going to be called as Alami battling that time with Tony Walls, and he got called for the foul. It's a good thing for Milwaukee he did, because otherwise he would have had a free crack against the goalkeeper, Bonahene.
We're scoreless here. Both teams having a little bit problem effectively linking up with their target players in deep positions.
Up ahead for Max Ferdinand. A little too far as Polo Hernandez tips it out, and he clears it up in the stands, and that should be top of the arc restart for Milwaukee. Hernandez, a second-year defender, Mexican native. Leopoldo, but his nickname is Polo.
Look for this play to go to the passer's left-hand side.
Well, once again, we have that strong left formation with everybody to the left of center. That's been the featured format from the Wave top of the arc restart so far this year. Ludwig will slide the pass near side Sanchez, and well-read Palmer plays it up ahead. Will he be charging out? And he's able to get there and clear out. Do or die for Willie, and he makes the play.
Casual restart that time by the Wave as Ludwig gave it away. That led to a prime chance for Empire on the counterattack.
Palmer certainly knew it was coming. Empty net for Javi Steinwasser.
That was a little bit tougher because Berto Palmer, the defender, was in his path.
So the Wave has had two pretty good chances to bag one into the empty net from midfield, but has not been able to do so. Roscoe coming forward, it deflects out of bounds. And again, the keepers for Empire not afraid to wander from that net as the shot in taken by Willie B. And that's going to do it for the first period. No score at the end of our first 15 minutes. We'll take a break, come back with quarter number 2 here from Milwaukee. It's the Wave nothing, Empire Strykers nothing on No score as we begin the second period here from Milwaukee between the Wave and the Empire Strykers. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. That's MASLsoccer.com. And the lights are bright and the fans are loud. It's the Strykers taking on the Wave. Stream it live on MASLplus.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again. Make sure to see your favorite team and get instant updates on every game on MASL Plus. Wave in the black and yellow uniforms going left to right here in the second period. In a scoreless duel so far with the Empire Strykers. Strykers' first visit ever to Milwaukee in the 12 years that these teams have been rivals. Wave has been out 3 times in Ontario, and the Fury/Strykers have won 2 of those 3 games. I remember that first game out there, Art, was in the 2015-16 season, and our old buddy, former Wave player and assistant coach Tenzin Rampa had a goal out there to help spark the Wave victory from the Toyota Arena out there, which is a very nice venue. Home of the Strykers and the Ontario Reign of the American Hockey League. This building, of course, you've got the Wave and the Milwaukee Admirals of the American Hockey League, who both play in this facility. Just one penalty in the first period that was against the Strykers for too many men, but they were able to stop the Wave on the power play. Ali Somo, the younger of the Somo brothers, controlling. So the Wave has the Steinwasser brothers, and the Strykers have the Somo brothers. Steinwasser brothers, the 7th set of brothers to ever play for the Milwaukee Wave. Probably the most notable would be the Dusowskis, but we've had the Surreys, the Whites, the Monomes, the Aliotos. Seems like I'm missing somebody here, AK, but...
yeah, you're always better with that stuff than I am, Tom.
Of course, you played with the Surreys, you played with the Aliotos.
I played with all the brothers that never won a championship here.
Alex Steinwasser! And the Wave grabs the lead 1-0. Alex, with his 5th of the year, also has 5 assists for 10 points. Max Ferdinand will get the assist. And Milwaukee grabs a 1-0 lead. Well, Alex continues his hot offensive start to the season.
The Wave getting the ball deep to Ferdinand that time, and Steinwasser just beat his man to the spot and finished it nicely with the left foot.
Alex now tied with Max Ludwig for 3rd on the team scoring list, and for Max Ferdinand, his first assist of the season. He also has a couple of goals for 3 points. Max, one of the league's all-time leading playmakers. Here's a long bomb toward the empty net, but that was much further out than the first 2 opportunities the Wave had in the first period. So 1-0 Milwaukee as they get on the board first here today from the arena.
You mentioned Max Ferdinand's first assist of the season. The Baltimore announcers, where Max played a number of years with the Blast, were commenting on that they were surprised that Max had not had an assist through the first 4+ games.
Typically, he has been just a dynamic playmaking presence. Coming into this season in 296 career games played, 204 goals, 266 assists, shot just wide, most of those with the Baltimore Blast. With the Wave in 125 games, 95 goals, 159 assists. He was actually averaging about 1.2 assists per game for the Wave. Last year, 5 goals, 16 assists in 17 games for Max Ferdinand. The Haitian native out of Reading, Pennsylvania. Mario Alvarez going to call for the foul. There's Super Mario, number 10. And they're going to make him reset it. And a long blast by Palmer is up and over. Baltimore Blast with a 4-1 lead over Utica. Third period now in Utica. And still no score in St. Louis between the Ambush and the Kansas City Comets. That game going in the second period. Oh, giveaway there. And the shot is blocked as Alan Perez had a chance that time. Perez, the fifth-year player out of Van Nuys, California, actually makes his home in Los Angeles now. You know, even though it seemed like the Wave had just about all the quality chances of the first period, officially the shots were even at 5 apiece in that first period. Wave with a lot of shots that were off target. Stinson, they double team him and taken away by Brian Hayne. Out to midfield, he's literally 1-on-4. Thought he was fouled on the play. The officials say to play on. Kyle Trimble, Kurt Steffen, our officials working today's game. Kyle Trimble and Matthew Rodman, I should say. Kurt Steffen, the assistant referee. John Schrantz, the fourth official.
Alami that time with a left-footed cracker right off the inside of the post. Had Bonaheny beat.
So the frame coming through to help Willie B that time. What's that they say? The frame of the goal, the goalkeeper's best friend. Most of the time, not all the time. As Nick Vassos would say, ding dong off the post. Hey, speaking of Nick, how about the great honor that he was accorded, the outstanding voice of the Kansas City Comets, legendary voice of the Comets.
Right.
They're going to have a Nick Vassos Day in Kansas City, Missouri coming up January 8th. And the Comets will honor Nick on January 11th, which will be the Waves' next game. Ironically, they'll be in KC to help honor Nick Vassos.
To help honor Nick.
Yeah. And that'll also be the first game back for Derek Huffman, who is serving the final game of his suspension from a throwdown incident of Christian Andreos the last time they were there. The attempted shot by De Leon, he didn't get much on it. The attempted volley, Willie B has it. Good outlet for Escueta. Wave trying to counter, but the Squid's pass up ahead for Oscar Flores is into the crowd. So Derek Huffman, be great to get Derek back, but he's going right back into the Lions' Den down in Kansas City for that game January 11th. Wave still without their veteran forward, Ricardo Cavallo. He's out with a fractured toe, so he's still going to be out for several more weeks. He broke that toe in the game in St. Louis 3 weeks ago. But that's obviously a key loss for Milwaukee. Nice play there by Alex Steinwasser, kept it alive for Max Ferdinand. Now Javi at midfield. Javi trying to slalom between a couple of defenders, does well to keep the possession. This time he'll go back out to Mike Howell, one of the defenders. He and Correa paired up on the defensive line right now for the Wave. And I believe we have a foul called against the Strykers. Quick restart. Tony Walls comes in, plays it to the corner for Max. Max turning shot, but Ferdinand going to get called for a foul. It was actually a handball against the Strykers up near midfield. 7:19 left to go first half, and it's 1-0. As you get a look at Brandon Gomez now in the nets for the Strykers. So Orozco started, played the entire first period. Now it's Brandon Gomez here in the second period. As we talked about, the Strykers will oftentimes alternate those two keepers throughout the game. Media timeout, so we'll take a break. 7:13 left to go first half. It's all right. We're back at first half. The Wave with a 1-0 lead over the Empire Strikers. Tom went along with Wave legend and Hall of Famer Art Kramer. Wave trying to improve on their 3-1-2 record for 10 points. Strikers trying to improve on their 1-3-0 record for 2 points. Strikers trying to break a losing streak after winning opening night against San Diego in San Diego. First time anybody had ever done that in this league.
Both teams trying to break losing streaks. Empire with 3 and the Wave with 2.
Yeah. Wave lost them both last weekend on the East Coast trip. Andre Hain trying to play it off the inboard, hit the shelf, and the Strikers are going to come away with it. And here they come as that was Walter Diaz, the Cuban native in his second season with the run-up field, but Wave able to thwart that attack. Alvarez plays it to the far side. Gomez, the goalkeeper, knocks it back the other way. Tony Walls trying to head it back for Benahane, and it's pounced on and scored by the Strikers as Abdul Mansoure converts to even the score at 1 apiece.
Well, ill-advised play that time by Tony Walls, trying to go low to head the ball back to Bonahene, and was not able to get anything on it.
Wave is going to challenge something.
Yeah, I think they're going to say they're
going to challenge for a handball before that. Well, obviously,
I thought they were going to challenge the foul on Grable going through the box at the other end.
So, you know, the idea was that Walls was trying, if rather than play it back with his foot, which would force Bonahene to use his feet, he's trying to head it back to him so Willie could use his hands. But that certainly didn't work out the way Tony was hoping. And unless this challenge is successful by
right there,
Milwaukee.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Gomez was.
Yeah, but you can't tell from that angle. That's just a bad angle to say that it was definitely a handball.
Have to have the overhead shot to, as he and Max Ferdinand were.
Yeah, that's not conclusive.
Well, we've seen less.
Yeah, no, nothing will surprise you when it comes to replay.
All this happening with 6:28 left to go in the first half.
And I've said it a number of times, is the first thing you got to consider is what was the call or not called on the field. That should be and then it has to be clear and obvious that what wasn't called should have been called. And there's no way from this camera angle you can say that's clear and obvious. It doesn't give you a good look down the line.
Unless they're getting a different shot down there. But
no handball. It's a good goal.
well, you heard Kyle Trimble make the announcement there. So at 8:32 of the second period, the Strykers have tied it up on the goal by Abdul Mansoureh. Mansoureh gets his second of the season. And the Strykers have tied it up at 1 apiece. That'll be an unassisted goal for Abdul Mansoureh. So back to even at 1 apiece as the wave kicks off. Esqueda dumps it down the corner for Ferdinand, but ricochets all the way back out. Now Alex Steinwasser trying to set up Max top of the area, but the pass off the mark. And the Strykers will clear. Again, another nice crowd here on New Year's Eve day for the Wave. Max, squid, oh, looking far side. And Alex Steinwasser not quite able to turn it in.
Yeah, that ball kind of handcuffed Alex Steinwasser at the far post.
Would have been a great goal for video purposes there, had the Wave converted. Nice movement on the play. Flores coming in on the break. Oscar Flores, and a save made by Gomez.
That was Gomez's best save of the afternoon here.
Tried to beat him high into the right side, and Brandon Gomez was up for the challenge. Big time save by Brandon Gomez. Gomez also a third-year player. 29-year-old out of Los Angeles. He and Brian Orozco, the starter, very similar stats since they both joined the team 3 years ago. Tony Walls will bang one off the end board. Sanchez trying to press up on the far side, but eventually Gomez gets it. So Brian Orozco playing the first period for the Strykers. Brandon Gomez so far here in the second. Diaz almost able to keep that one in play, but not quite. Tell you, Diaz is a rangy guy, Walter Diaz. They list him at 6'2". Got those long legs that he can use to his advantage. Got pretty good speed as well, too, as Berto Palmer takes a foul. Berto out of Kingston, Jamaica. One of the great all-time defenders in this league, as I said before, the league's all-time leading shot blocker with almost 450 in his career. Alex Sanchez with a bomb, and Gomez makes the save. That ball had some movement on it. Good job by Gomez to stay with it. Sanchez tracks it back. Now Diaz trying to take a shot that was blocked. Stuart Grable knocked down, and he does draw the foul from Abdul Mansoureh. Now the game a little more wide open here in the second period. Mike Howell, the rookie defender out of Western Michigan and UW Parkside, had that pass sent back in, but Willie B able to field it on the hop behind him. They said the Waves' next game will be January 11th in Kansas City, and the next time here at Panther Arena will be got a double weekend coming up, January 17th and 18th. On the 17th, we got the San Diego Strykers coming to town. And then quick turnaround the next day, it will be the Kansas City Comets. Go to MilwaukeeWave.com for tickets and info. MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave. So we got to get ready for a back-to-backer next time, AK. It's coming up in 3 weeks. Sanchez, nice move with a shot in.
Would you say it was San Diego and Kansas City?
Yep.
Two teams the Waves started the season against this year.
Yep. Won them both on the road. So obviously each of those clubs will try to avenge the earlier meetings. Well, Kansas City, in fact, will get a chance to do that on the 11th when they host the Wave down in Independence, Missouri at Cable Dahmer Arena. Once again, it'll be Nick Vasos Day down there. Great honor for the Comets' legendary broadcaster. Bennett with a shot, save made by Gomez. Gomez coming off the bench to start the second period, and he's been dialed in, it would appear. Made some great saves. Wave seems like they've had some pretty good offensive movement here, AK, but
it's gotten better in the last couple minutes.
Gomez has been up to the task, goalkeeping-wise. Willie B also doing a nice job for the Wave so far today. We're going to get a foul called on the Strykers. That's going to be Gratterall, the rookie midfielder, as he banged up Cesar Correa to the wall. Up for Oscar Flores, closely marked. Wave able to keep the possession. Willie B will send this one up to the near wall, and Flores is going to get called for a foul.
Well, Flores a little fortunate not to draw a blue card there.
Yeah, it sure was. As
he's been a little closer to the boards.
I didn't see who that was. I think that might have been Ben Sudeth, the rookie midfielder, got knocked up into the boards there. Fortunately, he's okay. Coming down the stretch of the first half, 2:10 to go. Don't forget at halftime, stick with us as we will send it down to Van McNeil. He'll be interviewing Coach Marcio Leite on the field at halftime. Isaac Somo back out for Andy Reyes.
This is where Somo likes to work from, likes to get wide and isolate.
He's got a few moves in his arsenal. Speedy forward who used to play with Utica FC, his hometown team.
Here he goes again.
Again, they try to set him up against Stuart Grable. And they'll cycle possession again back to midfield. Now Stinson. De Leon cracks one. Didn't miss by much. Stinson with it back against the veteran Stuart Grable. Stuart, the Neenah, Wisconsin native in his 10th season out of UWGB. He and Tony Walls were teammates once upon a time for the UWGB Phoenix. Stinson with a drive that's high, and that one actually got up over the glass. So extended possession for the Strykers. Had a couple of good cracks at it, but could not get one in the back of the net. Still tied at 1. Wave will still have 35 seconds to see if they can get a go-ahead goal before halftime. Tony Walls. Long ball off the end board. Max Ferdinand has it. Double teamed. Tried to slip the pass through for Steinwasser. Correa following up on the play, and he chipped it up into the stands. Max was trying to say it was last touched by one of the Strykers, but not going to get the officials to change their call. Strykers throwing a challenge flag. So let's see what this is about. Well, I'd be interested to see what this is. I can't recall anything specific. How about you, AK?
Maybe a straight foot on Ferdinand, but he didn't connect along the boards. All right.
So, the MSL video review taking place as so they were challenging for too many men on the wave.
All right, looking for a too many men penalty, but still being debated upon.
So, challenging for too many men, but possibly too much time had elapsed. Is there a time limit when you have to challenge for too many men?
Are you asking me, Tom?
Okay. I'm asking the world.
Let's hear what Kyle Trimble has to say. Kyle's going to tell us. He always does.
We had an invalid challenge by Empire. Too much time had elapsed.
Okay.
Okay. Now the question I have is, does Obasi get his challenge flag back then?
He loses a challenge. So not only does he lose the challenge, although apparently he had a legitimate claim, but it was not made in time. Statute of limitations had run out. There's a look at the coach. I'm assuming it was for too many men in this period, not going back to the first period. Stinson taken down by Javi Steinwasser. 8.6 seconds left to go. So still time for the Strykers to strike here at the end of the first half. Ali Somo puts one up and over. However, it was deflected by the wave. So corner kick coming. And now they've got the goalkeeper Gomez all the way up in the attacking zone. So man advantage on the restart for Empire. And now Strykers will take a time. So it could be a good chance for the Strykers with 6.7 seconds left to go. And again, we will have our halftime interview with Van McNeil and head coach Marcio Leite at the conclusion of this first half. Well, this seems like a half in which the Wave has definitely had the better of the opportunities, offensive opportunities, but still tied at 1. And if Strykers get one here, all of a sudden they could go into the locker room at halftime.
Neither team very effective in their transitional play once they win the ball.
Wave is playing its third game in 5 days. So, you know, it'd be understandable, I guess, if they don't have quite the spryness in their legs. The Strykers haven't played for a couple weeks, but again, a lot of times, you know, you're trying to work out the kinks in your legs a little bit.
You can see we're missing a couple key players, hurts an offense.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Fabian's loss is key for sure.
The thing with Marco Fabian is he makes everybody else around him better. It's really obvious with Justin Stinson. When he's out there with Justin Stinson, Stinson's one of the best players in the league. Today, haven't seen much from Justin. Now there's still a lot of game to go, but you can see the difference with Marco Fabian in the lineup for this Empire Striker offense.
I don't think there's anybody in this league who shoots the ball harder, more consistently than Marco Fabian. That's one of the reasons why he's so great on the restarts. All right, so they are actually going to have De Leon as the extra attacker for this restart with 6.7 seconds left. There he is in the red jersey. They move it across, and the shot miss-hit, and Willie B will make the save as Diaz didn't get much on it, and that will do it for the first half. Well, an interesting first half, to say the least. Not a lot of goals scored. At the end of our first 30 minutes, it's Milwaukee 1, Empire 1. Both goals being scored in the second period. Alex Steinwasser at 2:33 for Milwaukee, and Abdul Mansoure at 8:32 for the Empire Strykers. We're going to keep it right here and get ready to go down for the halftime interview with Van McNeil and Wave head coach Marcio Leite.
It's going to be interesting to hear what Marcio has to say. Marcio Leite was one of the best attacking players that the MASL/MASL had ever seen. And so last game he had some interesting points about not being able to find the target player and playing square and back. It'll be interesting to see what he has today.
All right, let's send it down to Van McNeil with Coach Leite.
All right, Tom. Art, let's check in with Coach Leite here. I mean, a pretty eventful first half. How you feeling here?
No, we feel good. I think our game plan for most part is working really well, even though they play with the six attacker all the time. They haven't been able to break us down with that, you know. And we're winning some balls. I think we just need to be more precise. I think we're having a lot of chances, especially when the goalkeeper is out. We've had 3 or 4 balls that we could easily score from our half, just finding the goal, and we're missing the goal right now. So the game can change really quickly, especially if we start to find the target on those balls.
I know we're down, not out here. The road really had its way with us. Those 2 back-to-back games, 3 games in 5 days. How much is that a factor here?
I think the boys look great right now. Obviously, we're beating it up. We have injuries. We have guys that are not 100% that are playing the game. But they look good right now. They look right now. I feel confident. I think if we adjust just minor things for the second half, we should be successful.
And if anything, we've got depth on this team. So next man up mentality, right?
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of young guys playing at this moment. And I keep telling them, grab it. I was a young player once, and I had to take my opportunities. And these guys are having a lot of opportunities. But I like the squad. Obviously, if we can get a little feeder, it would be great. We've played. This is our 7th game in 24 days.
That's a lot.
With 5 games away. So it was definitely a hard schedule in the beginning of the season, but we really want this win because you put us in a great spot in the standings.
And you know what brings us that extra energy, Mars?
The fans.
The fans, right? Give it up, fans, for Coach Leite. We'll let you get back there to the boys.
Thank
you, Marcio. All right, Tom and Art, first half reaction there from Coach Leite. We're going to turn it up in the second half. This is the Major Arena Soccer League.
Society has an obligation to help others when society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise their 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming
Shoot! He
Alex Bastivansky here in our MASL studio. What's going on, everyone? Hope you had an absolutely incredible week. There's a lot that's gone down over the past few days. Let's take a look at that, plus at what's coming up in the league this week.
into the post. Flores turning, shot, save, rebound, follow! He scores! And Milwaukee wins it 7-6!
Not a bad home opener for the Milwaukee Wave last week. They were taking on old school rivals Baltimore, and they gave their fans something to cheer about, but they made them wait for it. The Blast was up by 2 heading into the final quarter, but they couldn't shut the door. Mario Alvarez tied it up with just 32 ticks left on the clock, and of course Sanchez won it in overtime. St. Louis is proving to be one of the best stories in the league this season. They marched into Empire and managed to hold off the Strykers 5-4, and in the process picked up their first ever win against Empire. The Strykers tried to get back on track against Tacoma the next day, but they fell victim to the best story in the MASL so far, Tacoma. The Stars improved to 3-0 on the campaign, picking up the tight 3-2 victory. St. Louis tried to keep its hot streak going at home against KC, but their Missouri rivals continued to be their Achilles heel. It was close, but no cigar for the boys from the Gateway City as they tied it up late in the fourth, but the Comets took this one in a shootout 3-2. They're now 3-0 on the campaign against their in-state rivals. Who was hot last week? Well, the man they call Super Mario was once again Mario Alvarez, instrumental in that Wave comeback against Baltimore, potting 2 goals, including the late tying marker that sent it into overtime. And the man they call the Brazilian Rob Lowe, Paulo Nascimento. He went 1-1, but was absolutely stellar in both contests. Overall, he stopped the ball 31 times over those 2 games, and he allowed only 6 goals. And his teammate Jeff Machad continues to have a rock-solid season for the resurgent Ambush. The MASL veteran is second on the squad in scoring so far. He posted 2 goals plus a helper over 2 games for the Ambush. He now has 3 goals and 3 assists on the campaign. New Year's Eve, 3 big matchups to check out. Baltimore and Utica to face the Blues, who have only played twice so far this season. They'll be trying to notch their first win of the campaign. Kickoff 3 p.m. Eastern. Say hi to my buddy Phil Levanco if you see him there. Empire traveling to Milwaukee to face the Wave, who have yet to lose in regulation time this year. 4:05 Eastern, the kickoff time. And these 2 teams will be sick of each other for the 6th time this season. St. Louis is facing KC, the Battle of Missouri. 4:05 Eastern kickoff at the Family Arena. Your scoring leaders, Zach Reagan continuing to lead the way with 14 points. Teammate Dom Francis in second. Sanchez in third with 9, tied with Andreos. And Rion Marquez rounding out your top 5 with 8 points. Players of the week, it's Philip Ajimado taking the honor once again in goal. Alex Sanchez from Milwaukee getting the offensive nod, and Robert Palmer again getting the defensive honor this week. Let's start with Sanchez, absolutely instrumental in that comeback win over the Baltimore Blast. 4 goals in the contest, including the game winner, of course, in overtime. And Robert Palmer getting it done defensively as well as offensively. In 2 games, he had 4 points, and just as importantly, he had 4 blocks for the Strykers. And Philip Ejimadu, massive 23 saves in that shootout win over the St. Louis Ambush. Okay, it is time now for your plays of the week.
He's running down the bottom of your screen, cuts in on the right. Cox with a shot and an early goal. We're just over a minute played, and Jamel Juice Cox sets up
San Diego and Kansas City.
Middle of the box, Rivera turning shot and goal.
Watch this again on the replay. Good ball in by Silla.
Top down field, Falzone trying to get turnage, juggles it over Hollywood. Falzone, he shoots, he scores! Oh, baby!
Going at Briscoe, little step over, he takes a strike, he beats Beretta near post. Where has that been all night for the Strykers? It's 3-2.
Isak is pressuring Carvalho. The pass into Williamson. He fires it and he scores.
Alex ahead for Mario. Walking in. Shot it. Goal!
Correa's got John to his left. John in behind. John!
Be salivating 1v1. Torrealba, right foot, right into Ejimadu, and that is the ball game.
For the wave, and here he goes down the sideline.
Into the post. Flores turning. Shot. Save. Rebound. Follow. He scores! And Milwaukee wins it 7-6.
And that is going to wrap things up for this week. But just a reminder, all throughout the season, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the MASL, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise her 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming.
Shoot! He scores!
He fires, he scores!
Alex Vasilevsky here in our MASL studio. What's going on, everyone? Hope you had an absolutely incredible week. There's a lot that's gone down over the past few days. Let's take a look at that, plus what's coming up in the league this week.
Into the post. Flores turning. Shot. Save. Rebound. Follow. He scores! And Milwaukee wins it 7-6.
Not a bad home opener for the Milwaukee Wave last week. They were taking on old school rivals Baltimore, and they gave their fans something to cheer about, but they made them wait for it.
Forward, SK on the volley. Ding dong, and it goes in.
Shut the door. Mario Alvarez tied it up with just 33 ticks left on the clock.
You got that
of course,
one,
Sanchez won it in overtime. St. Louis is proving to be one of the best stories in the league this season. They marched into Empire and managed to hold off the Strykers 5-4, and in the process picked up their first ever win against Empire. The Strykers tried to get back on track against Tacoma the next day, but they fell victim to the best story in the MASL so far. Tacoma.
Got
Stars
space.
improved
Acosta
to
still
3-0 on
going.
the
Shoots
season,
and
picking up a
wow!
tight
Leo Acosta.
victory. St.
You can hang
Louis
a
tried
star
to keep
on
the
that
top
one.
three going at
Comets
home
lead
against
by
KC,
2.
but their Missouri rivals continue.
Mentioned that he forwent
close,
Christmas with his family, and what did he do? Practice.
Late in the fourth, but the
Gets past Austin, cuts in, gets past the second defender, the third defender, and then he went across the goalkeeper. Nothing that Paulo could do.
Season for UCFC. Shot blocked by Wilkin. Breakaway. Alaba. Tavares. Alves is at the back post. Alves is there. He scores! Short-handed winner. It's the first win of the season for Utica. What a moment for Gio Alves. Back from injury. And Utica wins their first game of the year.
All right, we're back here in Milwaukee. Score even at 1 apiece between the Wave and the Empire Strykers on MASL TV. Getting set to begin the third quarter. Remember, fans, that MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Also, Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. And remember, you can catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bastavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. And remember, you can get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. We are underway with the second half. Empire in the white uniforms, moving it right to left as we look at the action. Or I should say, it's the Wave going right to left as we look at the action. Empire is in the white unis.
Let's see if we can get some offense going here, Tom, in this half. Create some chances.
First goal is going to be big for either side. Would take the lead, play from in front.
Both teams with 9 shots in the game, 5 in the first quarter, 4 in the second quarter, and we're tied up at 1.
Each team scoring their goal in the second period, about as even as it could be statistically. Diaz bumped down by Alex Sanchez. The foul was called. Alex, the Chicago native, one of half dozen guys from the Chicago area currently on this Milwaukee team.
Berto Palmer tried to put that ball into play, but it wasn't a yard from where the foul occurred, so the referee's going to make him do it again.
Alex Steinwasser, the goal scorer for Milwaukee in the second quarter. Abdul Mansoure, the goal scorer for the Strykers. Strykers again playing without their superstar Mexican forward Marco Fabian. Wave without two of their key forwards, Derek Huffman and Ricardo Carvalho. Huff finishing up the last game of a league-mandated suspension. He will be back in the lineup for the Waves' next game, January 11th at Kansas City. Ricardo, it's going to be a lot longer. He's got a broken toe. Here's Alex Steinwasser trying to get through, cut off. But the Wave did get back their IMAX tandem today after they both missed the game Sunday in Utica, Ian Bennett and Max Ferdinand. And Max had an assist on that goal being scored by Alex Steinwasser. That was Alex's 5th goal of the season. The league leader, Zach Reggett of Kansas City, has got 12. Zach, the Kenosha native, he's off to a good start. And we'll see him on January 11th in Kansas City. Well, at least the Wave will see him there.
You know, Reggett and Stinson, who played here for Empire, were rookies together in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Both had really good seasons that first season.
And then, yeah, unfortunately for the Ambush, they didn't stick around much longer, but that would have really been a tandem to build on for a while. So the Strykers controlling as they go left to right here in the third. First time ever for the Strykers to come play here in Milwaukee, even though they've been in the same league with the Wave now for 12 years. That one will deflect back into the arms of Willie B., the Wave goalkeeper. Alvarez getting some pressure in the back as he lays it off for Tony Walls, now Willie B. Nice ball up ahead. Ludwig tried to play it ahead for Alvarez, but a nice play by Andy Reyes to get there. And here they come on the counter. Alame crossing over a couple times. Shot is off the mark. Well defended after he got it back in the zone. Sanchez trying to get through a couple of defenders. He does. Now Ludwig. Max, a native of Stuttgart, Germany, in his second season. Played his college ball at UW Parkside for the UW Parkside Rangers down in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Not too far from where Zach Reggett grew up. After the foul, Wade puts it back in. Javi Steinwasser trying to work it far side. Nice little pass. Grable with a shot. That one blocked.
Grable had Ferdinand at the far post that time. He elected to shoot.
Diaz with it as he will play it back for Isaac Somo. And now Brandon Gomez. So we saw Brian Orozco in the first quarter. Since then, it's been Gomez. He came on to start the second. And he's still out there here to begin the third.
Hard to tell the two apart, by the way.
Yeah, very similar profiles. Orozco is the younger of the two. They play on. Correa fires a shot and a goal!
And the Wave probably fortunate that time that Obasi already has used his challenge flag, but because that was possibly a foul on Max Ferdinand to win the ball that found Correa.
I think for a moment everybody stopped thinking there would be a foul call.
Right there was the challenge, right at the back end of it.
And a nice finish by Correa. He had Alex Steinwasser off to his left, but he took the shot himself. And Cesar puts it away for his first goal of the season, his second point. Big one there for Cesar Correa and the Wave. It'll be unassisted at 4:30.
I think that if they didn't call a foul, you're probably going to give Max Ferdinand an assist there. See, he won the ball.
Well, they're going to double check on it. I would agree. But I think you made a good point, AK, that if Obasi still had his challenge, he probably would have challenged that one for sure. Ian Bennett going to get called for a foul that time. So apparently it will stay unassisted for Max Ferdinand. The goal being scored by Correa.
Well, no surprise in this league that they don't give these assists. It's kind of a trend that we've seen.
Yeah, they are not the most liberal scorekeepers giving out assists in this league, that's for sure.
Not attacking friendly.
Not attacking friendly. That's a good way to put it. Willie B firing out to midfield, looking for Flores. They come up against the near wall, and who's going to get it? And they're going to get the Strykers.
Nonetheless, it was a nice finish that time by Cesar Correa.
So Cesar, who's not a big goal scorer, gets his first of the season. Cesar coming into this year in 47 career games, he had 7 goals, 8 assists. 37 games with Milwaukee, 10 with Utica FC, for whom he began his MASL career. He's another Chicago guy. I'll tell you, Art, you got to love these Chicago guys as players. Maybe not necessarily as Chicago sports fans, but love them as players, though. Players for us, anyway. Ludwig steps in to win it. But Palmer gets it back for the Strykers. They've got 3-on-2, and Palmer trying to set up De Leon in the middle. Little missed touch. Willie B covers up, and Willie is hurt. As you could see, Correa was immediately signaling that Willie was in a bit of distress there.
Looks like Willie's holding that right wrist.
He's a right-hand thrower, so that get up a good wrist, elbow, shoulder.
Right arm.
Something in his right arm, and he is a right-hander. Of course, Milwaukee has another right-hander in the bullpen named Jerry Perez. We say that because Perez has come off the bench a couple of times this year in the fourth quarter. He got the start in Utica the other night. It went great in the first half. Second half, not so much. But, again, he didn't have the best defensive support from his teammates either in the second half. That second half in Utica was as much of a regular season nightmare, AK, as I can ever recall. And, you know, I've practically seen them all here in Wave history. Now takeaway. Here comes Correa. Cesar sends it around. Shot at a goal! What a play by Correa and Sanchez.
Yeah,
Jeff, there.
Just an awful, awful giveaway by the Strykers in their own half of the field.
So Saucy Sanchez will get his first of the day. Alex with his team leading 10th goal of the season. And Cesar Correa with the assist. Well done by Cesar. He played the angle beautifully.
Yeah, and you couldn't see on the replay the really poor offensive possession that time by the Strykers as they put Gomez in no man's land.
So the Wave with a couple of quick goals here in the third period now lead it 3-1. So let's see if Strykers perhaps have to maybe press up a little bit more. Still early, still plenty of time. 23 minutes and a half to be exact, go in this contest. Hope everybody's enjoying this New Year's Eve day. Looking forward to a great New Year's Day tomorrow. And hopefully a great 2026 all around for everybody in not only in Wisconsin, California, the United States, North America, the planet Earth. Homer with a drive, just wide. And a follow-up shot, Diaz, save made, Willie B, and it bounces right back to him.
That was definitely Willie B's best save of the afternoon as he was on the ground but managed to parry it away with the right hand.
Andre falling backwards as everybody's tripping down. Foul going to be called against the Wave.
Flopping around like a fish out of water that time.
Check out this save here by Willie B as he stopped Diaz. And then unfortunately for Diaz, ball bounced up and he could not get a good shot follow. Correa heads it away. Isaac Somo. Now Polo Hernandez. Midway through the third quarter, Wave has a couple of goals in this frame, and they lead it 3-1. Strykers trying to come back in this one and get back on the winning track. They've lost 3 straight. Wave has dropped their last 2. Strykers looking at a trip to San Diego this weekend, so it certainly doesn't get any easier. They've had a tough time against the Sockers in their MASL existence. Sockers have beaten them 48 out of 58. Foul called there as Javi Steinwasser got knocked down. Javi, the oldest of the 2 Steinwasser brothers out of Sterling Heights, Michigan. Henry Ford High School there. Stinson with a steal against the Squid. Now Mansoret keeps it alive for Stinson. His turning shot is up above the goal. And I believe we're going to have our media timeout. So we'll take a break with 6:48 left to go in the third. It's the Wave 3, the Strykers 1. You're
My dog, Georgette, was diagnosed with cancer. After her treatment, we would pass Chick-fil-A. I started seeing Mr. Bryan often. She would get her little treat of whipped cream.
We recognize each other, Georgette and I do. That particular day, Elaine pulls up. She said, Georgette is cancer-free.
I came around the corner with Georgette in my car, saw all the employees out there just like clapping and cheering. I started getting really emotional because I was just like, that's so nice.
We love all our customers that come through. This one just happens to have 4 legs. Congratulations, Georgette.
3-1, Milwaukee leads it. Looks like Willie B is okay for now, and we'll continue for the Wave. Wave getting 2 goals here in the third period. Cesar Correa at 4:30 unassisted, and Alex Sanchez at 6:14 with the assist from Correa to break a 1-1 halftime deadlock. Still a long way to go here.
You know, I went back and looked at that last Wave goal, and it was actually a free kick for Empire on the far wall, and Palmer played it to Gomez. He thought it was coming out, and Gomez was not out of the goal yet. put Gomez in a terrible position. He tried to challenge, but was too late to get there.
Well, they've gone back to Brian Orozco now as the goalkeeper. And he comes in and fires one a little wide. Talking about Brian Orozco, in 39 career appearances, he has 4 goals, 3 assists. Both of these goalkeepers, Orozco and Brandon Gomez, they are not shy about coming forward and launching some shots.
Well, that's the game plan. So I don't think it's about being shy. It's what the coach wants them to do.
Well, they are very offensively capable, as you pointed out.
Yeah, although Orozco, I would say he gets a lot of shots, but his shot hitting the target are not as high as it should be.
Tony Walls popping that one up and now heading it out. Tony still got the good ups from his basketball playing days at Wauwatosa East High School and his freshman year at UWGB. Alex Steinwasser. Alex trying to run upfield. He got cut off on the play as Gratterall took it away. Palmer tangled up, but he's able to eventually get it across to Gratterall. Now Stinson. One-on-one against Correa. He'll back it up.
You know, against St. Louis, Orozco had 3 or 4 chances right in the first 10 minutes of the game that he just couldn't hit the target. They, possession-wise in that game, a game they ended up losing to St. Louis 5-4, they dominated the possession, dominated the first quarter, but came out of it tied 1-1.
Again, they have not been an offensive juggernaut this year, just 14 goals in 4 games coming in. And, you know, it's interesting. You would think with an extended 6th attacking format, that would, you know, tend to create more chances for it. But actually what it's done over the span is it's enabled them to be a greater possession team, not necessarily a greater scoring team.
Well, they're very, even though they create the 6v5 advantage, they're very patient in their approach to it.
Being patient right now as Andy Reyes plays it out. Orozco looking to the corner. Tony Walls trying to contest as Strykers able to keep the possession. That's Anthony Powell, number 9. The 8-year veteran out of Fort Worth in his first season with the Strykers. He's spent a lot of time with the Dallas Sidekicks in previous years. Sidekicks no longer in the league. Sidekicks nor the Mesquite/Texas Outlaws. And Strykers picked up several who used to play for the Outlaws, including this man right here, Andy Reyes. Diaz, the Cuban native, Reyes. Back across, now Berto Palmer with it. Again, Strykers being pretty patient. Diaz got top of the area, laid it off for Palmer in his inboard pass.
Diaz right at the top of the box, failed to pull the trigger.
And Correa running through. He's going to get called for the foul. Otherwise, he would have walked right in on the goalkeeper.
I was going to say Diaz had it right on his left foot at the top of the arc. Failed to pull the trigger.
Wave out shooting the Strykers 12-11 at this stage, so it hasn't been a high volume shot game by any means. Still just 1 penalty in the contest. That was against the Strykers for too many men. The Wave almost had a penalty for too many men back in the second period, but due to the statute of limitations, it was waved off. I got to say, Art, I did not realize that rule existed.
Well, if it was too many men, we didn't see. All we know is he challenged.
I thought he said it was too many men, but again, as we found out, if you're challenged for too many men, it's got to be within a certain time frame. Alami against Mike Howell. trying to force him to the end board. Nice job by Willie B to slide out and block the end board shot or pass. Alame gets it back. Mo Alame, native of Morocco from Oued Zem. Ouedzem. Probably butchering the pronunciation of his hometown, but that's where he's listed from. Isaac Somo against Oscar Flores that time. Marked up against him.
Isaac, when he isolates himself out wide, likes to attack down the boards. He seldom comes inside and hits a shot. He'll beat you down the boards and then play it off the back wall.
Strykers again seemingly in no hurry on the attack. Orozco, the goalkeeper, as per usual, up near midfield.
Once again, Flores giving him the inside, taking away the wall, but Somo doesn't want to take it.
Alame with it now as Ian Bennett tracks him down. Uses the pick from Rays, but he doesn't shoot. Nice crowd here today on the New Year's Eve Day special. Wave trying to improve to 22-9 all time on New Year's Eve Day. And make it 3 straight, 7 of 8. So they've been pretty good on New Year's Eve Day.
30 seconds.
Stinson to De Leon, gets it back. Strykers working the clock here at the end of the third period. They've gone 4 corners.
Wow. And it failed to get.
Long shot at the buzzer.
They got that shot off at the buzzer.
Well, you can't say they haven't been patient, that's for sure. We go to the 4th. It's wave.
Society has an obligation to help. Society has an obligation. Society has an obligation to help others. Society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise their 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming communities. National Core and Hope Through Housing, building the future of community.
Noisy UW Milwaukee Panther Arena here in downtown Milwaukee as we get ready for the start of the fourth quarter with the Milwaukee Wave leading the Empire Strykers 3-1 here on MASL TV. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. Also catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV on YouTube and CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bastavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. And disagree with a call tonight? You might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review with Phil Levanko and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. Well, AK, Wave getting a couple of goals in the third to grab a 3-1 lead. Any particular
the
thing
Wave,
we might look forward here in the fourth
Wave
quarter?
stepped up to defensive attack, really. Both goals were created through their defensive play. They won a ball right by the Empire yellow line, and that was the Correa goal. And then the second one was a giveaway in their own zone where the Wave stepped up and created a mistake in the attacking zone as well.
At some point, though, I think we're going to have to see the Strykers perhaps show a little bit more urgency attacking-wise.
Yeah, I mean, there's just 2 goals down, and you still got a quarter of play to go. So, really, Obasi has a style of play that his team sticks with, and they don't deter from that very often. They're very patient in the attack. They create a lot of possession, and they're going to stick with it.
Well, it's served them well, again, since Obasi took over as the head coach last year. And as you said, they're not going to deviate from that format.
Well, the key for them right now is winning some close games. And there's again, the shot by Orozco off the frame.
He's had a couple of good looks, but hasn't been able to find the target. But the Strykers keep the possession. Going right to left here in the fourth period. Oscar Flores, nice job there, trying to feed it up ahead. But good hustle back and a collision there as Alex Steinwasser, and I can't see who that is for the Strykers, went down.
Salami, I believe.
Yeah, Mo Alami. And hopefully they're both going to be okay. Possession will go to the Strykers. Berto Palmer with it. Berto and Ramon Palmer from the Kansas City Comets, longtime teammates, both from Kinston, Jamaica originally, and then they both went on to play at Park University in the Kansas City area. Here's deflected ball by Hain. Orozco's going to chase it back and knock it up the board. Correa with it. Cesar right now one of our primary candidates for player of the game. He's got a goal and an assist. In transition, set up. Oh, and Stinson's putting it on the corner for Alan Perez, and unfortunately for Perez, sliding out, he chipped it up and over. Oh, that's unlucky there for the Strykers. Nice ball by Stinson. He had him set up on a platter at that far post, but
it was actually Anthony Powell who played that ball across.
Okay. Well, that was right there, and that's unlucky for the Strykers. One of their best, well, let's say the best opportunity they created. The other one they scored on was really created by the Wave on a misplay. That could have made it 3-2. Sanchez trying to work his way out of that corner there, and
referee Kyle Trimble
going to call it on Ali Sumo. I'll credit Alex with some good work there to extricate himself from that tight situation there. Strykers get it right back. Mansoure, he's got the lone goal for the Strykers. Got tangled up with Alvarez. They play on. Max to Max. But Isaac Somo got back to take it away, and now it's cleared into the stand. This is going to be a top-of-the-arc restart for the Wave. Good hustle by Isaac Soma, but then he turned and served it up into the stands from his defensive end. And if it doesn't hit turf, glass, or boards, it's a free kick top of the arc for the other team.
Second time the Wave has had a top of the arc restart here this afternoon.
Now, this time Max Ferdinand is on the field. And let's see if Max can orchestrate some restart magic here.
All 5 Wave players left of the ball.
Strong left formation again for the Wave as the pass to Bennett broken up.
Same result, too.
Mansoray cruising in, and he will shoot, and a save made, Willie B. Great save by Bonahene.
Second top of the arc restart, and this result has been the same. It's been a giveaway going the other way and a prime chance for Empire.
Well, I don't know. That made that going high, but Willie certainly couldn't take a chance. And again, credit him for getting a piece of that one. Shot by De Leon, partially deflected. Well, this definitely has not been an offensive showcase today. I think that would be fair to say. Good defense both sides. And, you know, you're going to have games like this throughout the season where you just got to kind of grind it out. That's what both teams are trying to do today.
Well, the Wave has only held one of their opponents to 4 goals or under, and that's against San Diego.
Giving up 6.5 per game, so
this
right now
this has been a welcome sight for Marcio Leite. Heard Marcio at halftime allude to that too. He said that we're executing the game plan, at least from the defensive side of it. Really taking their goalkeeper advantage out of play.
Stinson dispossessed by Flores. Bodies go down, they play on, and eventually, as Flores got tripped down, I think it's going to be a foul on Justin Stinson, which he expresses some dismay about. So Mario Alvarez will put it in. Mario, the Wave's second leading scorer, has been held off the score sheet. Here's the Squid trying to get behind the defense. Escueta will cut it back. Good job by the Strykers to get back quickly when it looked like Escueta was possibly going to come in against the keeper. Sanchez working out high as Sudith had him cut off. Now Squid near side fires a shot, and it's just high. He was trying to pick the top far corner of the goal, apparently deflected by the Strikers, so corner kick for Milwaukee. Well, let's see if they can do something with this. Alvarez will be on the ball. Another goal for the Wave at this point would be huge with 11:20 left to go in the contest. Alvarez trying to get the ball to stay.
Ball doesn't want to stay on that dot.
Mario touches it over. Sanchez off the end board. Now Ian Bennett with it. Ian, I believe, has only had one shot so far today. The Waves' all-time leading MASL scorer. Michael King is the all-time franchise leader. Ian, number 2 behind him. I don't think it'll be catching Kinger anytime soon. Kinger's over 700 points. Ian just over 500 for the Wave. But needless to say, IB has had a phenomenal career with Milwaukee.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put anything past IB.
Well, he's 42 years old now, so heck, if he could play till he's 50, he might have a chance
to the old George Blanda.
Foul called. As
you're like the only guy that would know who George Blanda is, Tom.
George Blanda, the legendary quarterback and kicker. I believe his final year with the Raiders was 74. He was 47 years old.
47, yeah, that's
I believe so. Maybe 48. Maybe 48. Well, Phil Rivers might give him a run for his money.
Hey, how about the job he did, too?
Amazing. Just amazing, huh? 44 years old, and, you know, after not having played in the league, missing 4 seasons in between his previous
and
final.
Having 10 kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like he said, he's got a whole team to work out with. He said they can run a full 11. Correa racing upfield as Anthony Powell tracks him down. And eventually played back for Sanchez. Almost had it taken away. Somo loses it to Max Ferdinand. And he'll play it back out for Correa. So don't forget, Wave on the road in KC. A week from this Saturday, that'll be January 11th. Week from this Sunday, I should say. January 11th in KC. And then they'll be back here at Panther Arena as a foul was called on Powell for a back-to-back weekend. January 17th, Saturday night against the San Diego Sockers, and then the following Sunday afternoon, January 18th, against the Kansas City Comets. Go to MilwaukeeWave.com for tickets and information. MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave. So like we talked about before, Art, we're going to have to get geared up for a back-to-backer coming up in a few weeks. Walls, centering, and the shot. Javi Steinwasser didn't get a lot of it as Roscoe able to make the save. So make sure to pace yourself now the next 3 weeks here, AK, because, you know, we're going to have back-to-back games on the horizon. Foul called as Roscoe got hammered down by Oscar Flores. Oscar, the rookie, native originally from Venezuela, but I think he's got the Chicago connection as well. I think it was Derek Huffman who actually recruited Flores to come up here. Another one of the great recruits that Huff has produced. Alex Sanchez would top that list, but again, Derek with a lot of the connections in the Chicago soccer circle, and he has definitely helped bring in some key players for the Wave. Stinson with a shot straight on and a good save by Willie B.
That was Stinson's best opportunity so far today.
Hit it solidly, but Willie B was right there. Javi Steinwasser, nicely done to come out of the crowd and keep the possession.
Good work. The Wave doesn't need to be in a hurry, up 2 here with just under 9 to go.
Flores in the corner as he's double teamed and taking a few knocks there. So the foul going to be on Diaz right there. Officials have done a pretty good job to keep this one under control here today. Kyle Trimble, Matthew Rodman. Sanchez nudges it off far side. Ali Somo pokes it away. Now Stinson back for the Strykers. Knocked down at midfield, but they play on. Officials have let some contact go today, but for the most part, they seem like they've kept it under control. 8 minutes to go here from the arena. As the score remains 3-1, nobody's scored since Alex Sanchez's goal at 6:14 of the third. Scoreless first. Each team had one in the second. Wave had them both in the third. Reyes to Orozco. He'll fire one in.
Shot wide once again.
Bennett knocks it out of the zone, but the Strykers get it back. And now Hernandez. He'll come off for a change. Reyes to Stinson. Ali Somo on the far side. Fires one high off the glass. Stinson on the near side with Ian Bennett right there. And Stinson going to get called for the foul as he dumped Mario Alvarez. And Ian Bennett limping off a bit. Ian had been out with a leg injury for the last few games. Getting back in the lineup. Hopefully he didn't re-injure that previous injury. Takeaway. Mansoure. And he'll fire one out of play. We will have our media timeout. 6:55 left to go.
My dog Georgette was diagnosed with cancer. After her treatment, we would pass Chick-fil-A. I started seeing Mr. Bryan often. She would get her little treat of whipped cream.
We recognize each other, Georgette and I do. That particular day, Elaine pulls up. She said, Georgette is cancer-free.
I came around the corner with Georgette in my car, saw all the employees out there like clapping and cheering. I started getting really emotional because I was just like, that's so nice.
We love all our customers that come through. This one just happens to have 4 legs. Congratulations, Georgette.
The Ambassador, Milwaukee's landmark Art Deco hotel, is the official hotel of your Milwaukee Waves and the perfect place to meet up with family or friends before or after the game.
Hey, Abby. I see the whole band's here. Are you guys going to take the shuttle down to the game? Yeah. Love it.
Enjoy free parking and shuttle service to and from Panther Arena when you dine before the game. The Ambassador, the official hotel of your Milwaukee.
Three-one Wave with 6:55 left to go here from Panther Arena. We were talking earlier about the brother pairs who played for the Wave at the same time. Our old buddy Jason Rienzi, former Wave player, mentioned the Monome brothers, which I think we did mention at the time.
They won a championship back in 1998.
Sure did. The Dusowskis also winning a couple of championships. The Twin Towers, Todd and Troy.
In fact, Todd beating Troy in, what year was that, Tom? 2000?
That was in 2000 when Troy played for Cleveland.
Right.
And the Wave defeated Cleveland in the NPSL final.
I still
series
remember
that year.
Coach Tozer Todd was having a little problem playing against his brother, and he didn't, Coach Tozer said, Todd, when you're a grandpa, you were going to want to have won that game. And Todd's still a couple years away from being a grandpa, but he's getting there.
Stinson with a shot off the post. Oh, unlucky for Justin Stinson.
That's the second one he's had in this quarter. From that left side is where he likes to operate.
Wow, that was unlucky for the Strykers. Could have got him back within one. It's kind of weird because it seems like the Wave should be up, 5-1, 6-1, the way this game has evolved, but yet it's still only a 2-goal game. And if the Strykers get the next goal, they're right back in it.
What a ball by Stinson.
Oh, and a great reaction there by Willie B. Stinson with the pass in for Diaz. And Benahene might be shaken up a little bit. Hopefully Willie's okay. Let's check it out one more time.
That was about a 50-yard first-time ball by Stinson. Right on the money, too.
Good read by Willie B coming off the foot of Diaz. Had Diaz been able to convert that one time, that would have been one of the goals of the year for sure.
Diaz, it was a poor first touch. He'd been able to bring that down cleanly. He would have been set up right in front.
Max Ferdinand waits for Max Ludwig to run through. 24 Max is Ferdinand, 23 Max is Ludwig. Orozco sends it long. Somo in a foot race with Escueda. Isaac trying to get it, but the Squid cuts him off down in the corner.
It was a good ball that time by Orozco to send Somo almost through.
Somo got some pretty good wheels. Squid really had to turn on the jets himself to stay with him there. Somo will leave it back for Diaz. Now they've come with De Leon as the true sixth attacker. He's wearing the red jersey. We saw him briefly at the end of the first half in the sixth attacker role. He's obviously been playing a regular shift on the field. So full sixth attacker now for the Strykers. Less than 5 to go. They still trail by 2. De Leon will tee it up. It's blocked. Sanchez drops it back for Max Ferdinand, and he puts it into the stand.
After Max had made a nice block there at the beginning of the shift. Oh, Empire's probably going to call timeout. They don't have their players on the floor.
Well, let's see.
How long? How long?
Wow.
Wow.
They were pushing the time limit there for sure. But they do get the timeout called, so 4:40 left to go, 3-1 in favor of the Wave as I score. Well, we're going to.
My dog Georgette was diagnosed with cancer. After her treatment, we would pass Chick-fil-A. I started seeing Mr. Bryan often. She would get her little treat of whipped cream.
We recognize each other, Georgette and I do. That particular day, Elaine pulls up. She said, Georgette is cancer-free.
I came around the corner with Georgette in my car, saw all the employees out there just like clapping and cheering. I started getting really emotional because I was just like, that's so nice.
We love all our customers that come through. This one just happens to have 4 legs. Congratulations, Georgette.
The Ambassador, Milwaukee's landmark Art Deco hotel, is the official hotel of your Milwaukee Way and the perfect place to meet up with family or friends before or after the game.
Hey, Abby. I see the whole band's here. Are you guys going to take the shuttle down to the game?
Yeah.
Love it.
Enjoy free parking and shuttle service to and from Panther Arena when you dine before the game. The Ambassador, the official hotel of your Milwaukee.
All right, here we go. 4:40 left to go with the Wave leading by 2. Free kick coming top of the arc for the Strykers. Palmer across, and they don't get a shot off initially. And Alex Steinwasser able to knock it downfield for the Wave. Well, after a timeout, I'm sure the Strykers were hoping for at least to get off a shot.
Poor spacing by the Strykers on their offensive restart. Way too tight.
Justin Stinson. Wave right now with the 2 Steinwashers out front along with Esqueda. Stinson with a curling shot, but will he be able to get the read on that? Esqueda will knock it off Alex Steinwasser. Alex has one of the 3 Wave goals today. Correa and Sanchez, the other goal scorers for Milwaukee.
Sorry, Tom.
Foul called on the Strykers there. And the Wave is going to take a timeout now. So Marcio Leite wants to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Coming down the stretch with a 2-goal lead and 3:50 left to go. Let's give you the updated scores on the other action in the NASL. Final from Utica, the Baltimore Blast with a 5-2 win over Utica FC. And in the third period at St. Louis, tied up at 3.
No,
Kansas City Comets.
It's actually 4-4. It's been 4-4 in the fourth for quite a while with that ambush Kansas City score.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right on it, AK. Had to refresh my mobile device.
I've been refreshing it every couple minutes, and it's been 4-4. Those 2 teams, we know the last game, they went the distance as well with the Comets eventually winning.
Ambush still trying to get their first win in the season series. They've come close a couple times, but the Comets lead the series 4-0. The Comets ended up winning in a shootout last time the teams met. And they've got another game coming up this weekend in Kansas City. And that'll wrap up the 6-game series. But
the I-70 series.
Yeah, all 6 played within the first 6 weeks of the season. And obviously it hasn't worked out great for St. Louis so far, but they still got a chance to get at least one win in that series.
They're playing pretty well right now.
Ambush, solid team.
Yep,
beat the Wave down in St. Louis. How about this, Art? The Wave has had 3 overtime games this year. They've all been 7-6 games. Our best bet coming into 2026 is if the Wave goes overtime, it's probably going to be tied at 6. All right, Milwaukee with the possession, 3:50 left to go.
And I'm sure that's what Marcio Leite was stressing during that timeout, but he called was, let's see if we can keep possession, run some clock here.
Javi Steinwasser will play it to the corner for his brother Alex, who is immediately double-teamed, now triple-teamed in there. Correa kept it alive. And eventually Roscoe plays it out. Tony Walls, great job to get in the passing lane. Nice sliding tackle also by Tony to prevent the counterattack from the Strykers. Alex Steinwasser trying to keep the pressure on, battling with Reyes, but eventually Roscoe got it, and as he sort of...
Roscoe trying to draw a 2-minute penalty there.
Tumbled into Steinwasser. Foul was called on Alex, but it was really Roscoe initiated the contact there. And that's what Alex is telling Kyle Trimble. I'll tell you, Alex, another fine effort today. This guy is turning out to be an outstanding two-way player for Milwaukee, as is his older brother, Javi.
Alex doing the bulk of the scoring between the two Steinwassers, though.
Yeah. Had the first goal of the day today. He's got 5 now. Javi still sitting at just 1 goal this year, but Javi, no doubt, is he'll get his share before the year's out. Ali Somo now. I wonder if the Somo brothers, when they were talking to everybody back home in Utica, when they said, hey, why don't you guys come back to Utica and see everybody? And they said, no, that's okay. Well, we're good out here in Ontario.
Stay in Southern Cal?
Yeah. At least during the winter time. .2:15 to go. Correa checks it away from Ali Somo. Squid will send it downfield.
I'm surprised they didn't want to keep possession, though.
Javi Steinwasser trying to get the fans into it here down the stretch. Diaz tried to get through. Tony Walls able to knock it away. Alan Perez on the far side. Ball comes free. Here's a long bomb, and it's going to go wide right. Cesar Correa trying to see if he could put one in the empty net.
I like Alex Steinwasser pressuring, but the other 4 got to step with him.
Down to 1:15. Strykers trying to pull one back and give themselves a chance here in the final minute of play.
We talked about a team being patient. They're patient to a fault, Tom. They really are.
I would say in this situation,
you can only work the ball around so much as that clock ticks down.
Blocked by Javi Steinwasser. Alvarez sending it toward the empty goal, but it's going to go wide left. Final 20 seconds of play. Going to take a miracle for the Strykers if they're going to tie this thing up.
How about if they just get a shot off? Which they will not do.
And the clock's going to run out as Javi Steinwasser's ball will roll in, but it was just after the buzzer. And that will do it. Our final score today, the Milwaukee Wave 3, the Empire Strykers 1. We'll keep it right here and get ready to go down to Van McNeil, and he'll be talking with our PCI Wave player of the game. But some quick thoughts to recap this one, AK.
It's a win. It's a win to finish 2025, and after losing the 2 and on the road, it's a big win for the Wave.
Wave improves to 4-1-2 for a total of 13 points. 2-0-0 at home as they break a 2-game losing streak. So they'll stay in second place for now, behind the first place Kansas City Comets with 16 points. And the Strykers now drop to 1-4-0, still holding at 2 points. Strykers have scored 15 goals this year, given up 21. The Wave has scored 46, given up 41. This was Milwaukee's lowest scoring game of the year, but their best game defensively, only yielding 1 goal. Strykers, by the way, now 1-2-0 on the road, 0-2-0 at home as they drop their 4th straight game. See Marcio Leite shaking hands with the Strykers as everybody else is shaking hands. And so the Wave grinds one out today. And now they'll get a chance to get a little more time off between their next game after playing.
Oh, hi, everybody. We're down here on the field. We're celebrating the Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game, this man in goal today, Mr. William Bonaheny. Let's talk about this game. That's a tough one, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they have a different style of play, so we had a quick turnaround. So our game plan, we got it pretty late, but I think we executed it really well.
That's great. We got some depth on the goalkeeping staff this year, from Jerry to you, Travis, and Dutchie in the goalkeeper position. What has the message been this season as far as where you live and work?
I mean, it's next man up. I think we have 5 or 6 starting keepers at training every day. You know, so when my time's called, I just got to perform. Jerry and Gabe and Augie and Travis, they all do a different skill set, and Marcio's kind of putting it when it needs, and you know, just kind of understand that when it's your time, just do what you got with your time.
And then finally, this New Year's Eve game, it's back. We didn't have this last year. We've got almost 5,000 fans here. You felt that energy, no?
Yeah, you know, it's always, Milwaukee always shows out, especially for New Year's Eve. Guys, keep coming. Guys, we got something special going on here, so follow the ride, follow the ride.
All right, thank you, Willie. William Bonaheny, ladies and gentlemen, our Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game. Let's go, baby. Tom and Art, let's recap it. Let's go home.
All right. Thanks, Van. Thanks, Willie B. And the Wave with a 3-1 victory here today. AK, final thoughts as we get ready to finish out the last day of 2025.
Yeah, Willie B alluded to it too. He said that they got the game plan late, but they executed the defensive game plan to perfection. You heard Marcio Leite at halftime mention he felt the team was really doing a good job executing the plan. And, you know, sometimes you like to see real high-scoring games. It's really exciting, and other times it's any way you can win, you win. And today was a defensive gem by the Wave. Really was.
Sure was. So hopefully Milwaukee can carry that momentum into the 2026 portion of the schedule. Once again, we want to wish everybody a happy New Year's Eve and a happy New Year tomorrow. We will look forward to seeing you back here at the arena on January 17th and 18th. Those will be the next 2 home appearances for the Wave when they entertain the San Diego Strykers on Saturday the 17th and the Kansas City Comets on Sunday the 18th. Wave will next be in action in Kansas City on January 11th.
And I will say, Tom, this is the first year that Victors has not been in existence since I played, which was a long time ago. No Victors, no going out tonight for Mr. Kramer. I'm headed home.
You can't replace Victors as a New Year's Eve spectacular. That's for sure. All right, fans. Well, anyway, glad you could join us for this one. And the Wave, by the way, now 22-9 on New Year's Eve day, playing here in Milwaukee. For our producer, Ian Thompson, the rest of our outstanding crew here at the arena, Tom Wynn wishing you a good one. Again, our final score here today, Milwaukee 3, the Empire Strikers 1. You've been watching MASL TV.
My dog, Georgette, was diagnosed with cancer. After her treatment, we would pass Chick-fil-A. I started seeing Mr. Bryan often. She would get her little treat of whipped cream.
We recognize each other, Georgette and I do. That particular day, Elaine pulls up. She said, Georgette is cancer-free.
I came around the corner with Georgette in my car, saw all the employees out there just like clapping and cheering. I started getting really emotional because I was just like, that's so nice.
We love all our customers that come through. This one just happens to have 4 legs. Congratulations, Georgette.
The Ambassador, Milwaukee's landmark Art Deco hotel, is the official hotel of your Milwaukee way and the perfect place to meet up with family or friends before or after the game.
Hey, Abby. I see the whole band's here. Are you guys going to take the shuttle down to the game? Yeah. Love it.
Enjoy free parking and shuttle service to and from Panther Arena when you dine before the game. The Ambassador, the official hotel of your Milwaukee.